So there are upward of 1,000 reasons why somebody can not like religion and not like spirituality. For me, the most important reason to me is the fact that if you look at it, none of the religions and just about all of the spiritual systems, none of them teach you freedom. None of them teach you that you are a free, sovereign entity that has your own will and can do your own thing and can be your own God. None of them teach you that. They all teach you submission, servitude, and they teach you the value of obedience. Because to them, obedience is the thing that is cherished. It's the thing that is seen as being some virtuous value to have. Oh, this man can obey God, therefore he is holy and righteous. Oh, this woman can keep the commandments, therefore she's holy and righteous. It's all about sanctification through being obedient, doing all these arbitrary things to prove that you're worthy of forgiveness, that you're worthy of God's love, and that you're worthy of heaven. And none of it teaches you to be free. None of it teaches you that you can be your own God, that you can have your own freedom. None of them teach you that you are in control of your own spiritual destiny. You can't even have freedom enough to use divinity to free yourself from your own body. None of them teach you any of this, because all of these systems primarily are for making good slaves out of you. They're for making you obedient and doing what you are told to do. They're making you to be on your knees and to see yourself as less than whatever they are telling you is higher than you. It's not about your personal freedoms or wants. It's about servitude at the end of the day. And I'm telling you, you can look at all of the religions, all of them, and they tell you the same thing. They tell you you need to repent from sin. You need to believe this. You need to believe that. And then if you're good enough, if you prove that you've done all these things, you get to go to heaven. And what is heaven in just about all of these systems? Heaven is, well, you get to go and be under the thumb of a God and obey by its rules for all eternity. I mean, Christian heaven by far has to be the worst. All you do there is sing and praise God for eternity, kissing God's ass for eternity. And they think that that's paradise. Yeah, they have the extra added thing of, oh, but it's free from suffering. Well, yeah, but not really. Because what you're going to be doing is on your knees 24/7, praising some narcissist. And who's to say that heaven is really not the actual hell in terms of what happens there? Because, I mean, if you look at the Bible and you look at these things that this God does, how it behaves, this thing is clearly a psychopath. Some sort of strange deity, monstrous deity that is either confused or psychotic, maybe both. But this is not a stable being that they worship. It's just not. So that's my gripe with all of it. I have not seen a single religion on this planet teach man that he is his own God and that he can be in control of his own spiritual destiny. It's all about you need to submit in order to go to somebody else's heaven, to gain somebody else's favor, to prove that you are worthy to somebody else, to serve somebody else for all eternity, to merge with God, to just devalue yourself of anything that can be called individuality and just surrender that and become a slave, a drone. And that's pretty much all it is. I mean, again, you look at these spiritual systems, that's exactly what they're telling you. Because the goal of these right-hand spiritual systems is, submit to the light, become one with the light, become one with the source. And it's all telling you to surrender who you are, surrender your individuality, join the Borg, become a conglomerate, become a amalgamized creature that is joined together with all the mush and gush of whatever entity this is. Who would want that? Who would want to be a drone? Who would want to be a spiritual drone, a spiritual Borg? How is that anything to look forward to? And why is it promoted as being something that's virtuous and good? So the whole thing doesn't make any sense to me. The whole thing is about you surrendering what makes you you. You have this thing of individuality and they want you to give it back. They want you to say, I don't have it. I'm going to be a part of something else because I don't want to be myself. You see, it's all about surrender. It's all about being on your knees, and it's all about being someone else's bitch, essentially. Because you can't control anything of your own. You know, they don't give you the option to be your own God, essentially, to do your own thing. It's all about whose rules you have to follow to get wherever their goal is, you know. So it's no freedom. And that's the biggest problem to me. You know, people talk about, oh, you left Christianity because you want to sin. No. Because anyway you put it, even the idea of sin is stupid. How can I possibly offend a transcendent God? It makes no sense. You mean to tell me that a transcendent, truly perfect being will be offended by anything that I do in this stupid little flesh suit and then hold it against me for all eternity as being a sin? That makes no sense. That's not even a transcendent God. That's a God that sounds more like a human being to me. And then, of course, all the aspects that they present in the Bible that God has, all these anger issues, lashing out, killing things, destroying things, rage, jealousy, envy. God has all those in the Bible. But somehow these are the qualities of a transcendent being. I don't think so. So I'm not buying it. It's all bullshit. Any system of religion or spirituality that tells you that you have to be on your knees to surrender yourself, to turn against your own individuality, become a part of the Borg, surrender, worship, be on your knees forever, have no authority over your own self. You have no freedom. You deserve no freedom. Be a part of the Borg, surrender. That's nothing that I would ever give my consent to. Fuck all of that bullshit, okay? Because it's all slavery. However you want to cut it, all these religions, they tell you that you're a slave. They tell you you're a slave. Why is it that, I mean, you know, looking at the spiritual things now, why is it that I would have to do all these arbitrary tasks and works to earn my way back to a primordial state of perfection, to earn my way into a state of bliss, when I didn't do anything to earn being a human? I didn't have to earn my way to become a human into a deficient state. So why do I have to do all these arbitrary tasks and all these meditations and chanting and all these dietary things and all these stupid little things that the spiritual people teach and gurus? Why do you have to do any of that to prove that you're worthy of wanting to go to a realm where you don't have to deal with any of this? It doesn't make any sense. If I have divinity in me, I should, by virtue of that divinity, have enough power to just say, I don't want to go to X, Y, and Z. I don't want to participate in this, and therefore I won't. If you have true divinity. So it's a nonsense thing that they tell you that you have divinity inside of you, and then they immediately back that up with, oh, but you have to earn your way. You have to earn it by doing all these things. You have to prove it by doing all these little things that makes you worthy of that power, that makes you worthy of that kind of freedom. You just don't have it innately. But again, I didn't have a choice to become human. I didn't have the choice to fall into this materiality and have all these imperfections and bodies prone to these desires and sicknesses and all the things that these systems tell you to try to detach from, which is virtually impossible. I mean, essentially, they all tell you, oh, back away from all your desires, give up all these things and do this, do that, do this. And they're telling you to turn against your human nature. All fine and good if you could, but you can't. You really can't. Not all of it. Some things you can mitigate for sure, but not all of it. And why is the onus on us to do this? Just to be able to go to a state where it's no longer a problem. Did we have to prove that we are worthy to fall into the human condition? No. Did we have to prove that we are worthy to have these bodies of suffering and decay and desire? No, it just happened. We didn't even will it. It just happened to us. But you mean to tell me in order to say that I want to be free from all of this, that I had to do all these extra things and I can't use my divinity within myself to just say, I don't want to do it, therefore you don't? It's all slavery. It's slavery with extra steps. You're being led along a string, essentially, like a puppet. And that's the reasons, the things I have wrong with these systems of thought, these religions and spiritual systems. None of them teach you to have freedom. None of them tell you that freedom is something you can even possess. It's all about what you must do for the gods and what you must do to prove that you're worthy of not suffering. It's sickening. It's gaslighting. It's treacherous, really. And it's all there to make you feel bad. Because that's all it does. I mean, look at the hymns that the church sings. Amazing Grace, for example. A wretch like me. Oh God, I was so terrible that God had to send his own son to kill himself to redeem me. It's all about blaming you for being in the state that you didn't even ask for, but yet having to prove that you're worthy of getting out of it by doing stupid little things. I mean, if there is a truly perfect and transcendent God, why would the standards even be this way? Why would you even have a standard that says, humans can find their way back to peace and infinite tranquility, but they have to do all these little things first. They have to do all these little things, these little loopholes to crawl through, and then maybe they'll be worthy of it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The whole thing is completely stupid. So that's why I don't really speak in a dogmatic way about what I believe spiritually, because honestly, the whole thing is this. We're all guessing. We're all guessing. We're all pulling straws. None of us actually truly know what happens after we die. Anybody telling you they know for absolute sure certainty is a liar or very strongly deluded. But they're not truly honest, because you can't make that claim. You can't even demonstrate it. So while I might have thoughts, even I criticize the thoughts that I have about what happens. I mean, I like Gnosticism. I mean, Gnosticism to me makes a lot more sense than the standard version you get in Christian thought or Islamic thought. But even still, I have problems with that. Because according to Gnosticism, the supreme good God did not create this world. But this supreme good God also doesn't help us get out of it. It's not doing anything to stop the demiurge or to destroy his world and free us from his control. Because according to what Gnostic mythology has to say about it, this supreme God is too far away to hear our plight. Too far away to really do anything about it. So what's the point? So either way you cut it, it's all speculation. But to me, I can't get behind anything that's telling me I'm a slave and that I just don't have the power to say I want to be free and therefore I am. Why do I have to jump through all these loopholes just to say that I want to be free and to actually have that freedom? Why can't I just say it with the intention of my will I wish to be free from all of this and be free. Of course, the religious and people will always make excuses as to why that can't happen, why you must adopt all these stupid little things and rituals to do, and how you must become an ascetic of some sort to prove that you're worthy of having this state free from suffering. It's all bullshit, people. All of it, really. And I don't have the answers. I could be wrong about a lot of things, and I admit that. But to me, that's the gripe that I have with all of it. None of it is about freedom. It's all about servitude.